Hi, in today's class, we're going to be looking into unit of measurement. Units of measurement. This is a very great feature that is enabled in QuickBooks. Of course, QuickBooks Desktop Premier, but you can't have it in QuickBooks Pro. Okay, so the first thing is you have to enable the future. But what do we understand by unit of measurement? So if we go down here, you see unit of measurement, how to record transactions using measurements in QuickBooks. For those who sell packaged items or consumables, maybe you sell, you here in Nigeria, if you buy in pack, maybe you all these consumable goods like drinks, biscuits, and all those other like egg. Let me use egg for instance also. Then the second option here, sale of, if you sell clothes and rope or other items. Then if you sell meats, fish and palm oil. Why I separated this into four is that they have their own separate units of measurement. For instance, this first option here, make use of count in QuickBooks. So you have it as count in QuickBooks. Okay, then the second option here, you have it as length. Okay, you have that as length. The third option is, okay, the spelling is wrong, length. Okay, now the third option here, meat, but definitely they are on weight. We weigh them. Yeah, so we weigh them. I hope I got this correct. Okay, weight, we weigh them. Okay, then this other feature here, the last one is in volume. We'll set them in volume. Okay, so specifically we can create a unit of measurement to be able to have these units in our QuickBooks so that we can purchase, sell and also count or to ascertain the value of those items in stock. Okay, now in QuickBooks we have to enable this feature. So how do we go about that? We go to edit. You can do that from the edit menu on preference. Then here in company preferences, you see unit of measure, you click on enable, or you can go to list item while trying to create an item. So I'm gonna click on new here. Okay, while trying to create an inventory part item, you see there is an option for you to enable the unit of measurement. Okay, so whichever method you want to use, they still take you to the same place. Okay, now is either you want to make use of single single unit of measurement measure or multiple unit of measure. Now single use of measure, you just want to have it attached to when creating an invoice or a bill. You just want to have the measurement attached to it. There is no essence of a conversion. So you're just assigning a standard unit that, okay, this product I sell them in, for instance, in foot, I buy them in foot, and I also value them in foot. You see, in this case there's no need. Or I get them, I also purchase them in inches, I sell them in inches, and I also measure them, I value the stock in inches. You see, in this case we are going to make use of single unit of measure. There is no need for conversion, so that is what this option is for. But in the case of multiple unit of measure, you have an item or product that you sell, but there are different number of conversion. So maybe for instance you buy in inches, or let's say you buy in yard, you sell in feet or foot. And maybe if you get a cloth, all these people that sell clothes, all these cloth materials, or all these if you sell rope or wood or pipe or wire. Okay, in this case you have to maybe, and you buy them in different, you buy, sell and value them in different measurements. For instance, maybe you buy them in yard, of course, or in meter. Then after buy them in yard, you sell them in inches, in feet, you understand, in feet. Then you measure them, you value them in inches. Now the inches here, there is a need for a base unit of measure, which is the unit for which QuickBook will value your items for you, which is the smallest unit. So let's go ahead and enable this multiple units of measure per item. Okay, now it is enabled as a multiple unit of measure per item. So I'll click on OK. So it's going to close the windows, the open windows for now. Yeah, setting can be blank. Okay, what is it? QuickBook must close. The data has changed. Okay, no. So we've enabled unit of measure. That's the first thing you have to do. Then should, in case you go there and you don't see enable, or maybe you see it showing multiple unit of measure or single, it means that it has been enabled before, so you don't have to enable it again. You just have to, the next thing you need to do is to go to list, item list. Then from item list you create Control N. Okay, let me just go back. So you can click on this and new. So select the inventory part. We're going to be tracking this. So you see now we have unit of measure. So when we select, we don't have any, but we can add new from here. So let's say I'm going to create in these four instances, and we'll see how we purchase them. We'll see we'll pull out a report, and we'll see after selling, we'll pull out a report to see how QuickBook will handle the transaction for us. Okay, now let's go back to QuickBooks. So the first one here is sale of packaged items or consumables. Okay, so we want to go with count. Okay, I'm going to add new. So you see we have count, each box, case, dozen. So you can have various kind of is it egg, is it biscuit, is it drinks, you can have different kind of, is it books, you understand. So you definitely know what you sell, and you know how you measure those things you sell. Okay, then if you buy them in pieces, maybe you buy them singular and sell them in single, there's no need. You can just go ahead, but you understand, you can just go ahead and maybe make use of single unit of measure. But in this case we are making use of multiple units of measure, because we want to categorize the level of the measurement that we say those things. Okay, I will show you for an example now. Let's go for count. So select a base unit. This is very, very important. When you create inventory items, the base unit of measure should be the smallest increment used to track the item. You see, for instance, if you buy screws in bags of 100 but use 1 or 2 at a time, you should select a base unit of each instead of one bag of 100. That is, the smallest is 1. The smallest is 1. So in this case, I'm going to make use of each. If you sell sandals, very good example is sandals. They come in pairs, so you have to buy them left foot and right foot. So it's very, very important you make use of pair instead of each, because it's going to be in 2. Okay, then if it is in dozen, if the smallest base unit of measure is in dozen, like 12, you make use of this dozen. Then if it is order, you select order and specify. So in this case we are going to make use of each. Okay, so we'll go to the next. Now there is this feature that QuickBook will want to assist you with. Okay, now click the add field for each related unit you want to add. Okay, now the related unit I want to add, because it is a multiple unit of measure, that is why. So I want to add I want to be able to add like each, crate, and pellet. Okay, so if I can edit that. So let me select. Let me use this case. Yeah, case can be a crate or case. Yeah, so let me just use crate. CT. Okay, so how many of each? So in a crate, how many, for instance, egg, how many egg do we see? So let's use egg for this example. So in a crate you have 30 eggs. Yeah, you have 30 eggs. So in this particular crate I'm selecting now, I'm going to use 30. Yeah, 30. So 30 of each. Remember, each is 1. Each is 1. Okay, then the next one here, let me adjust that to let's say pallets. Okay, that is in a stack. Okay, that is in stack. So let me just put PT. Okay, now in pellets, let's say we buy them in pellets. We have 10 crates in a pellet. So if we have 10 crates, 10 of this 30, which is 30 times 10 in a pellet, right? So it's going to be, if we have in a pellet we have 10 crates, each pellet, I'm just using an example because it is egg, let me just assume each pellet carries 10, or we can go as far as say, okay, 100. Okay, each pellet carry 100 crates. Each pellet has 100 crates. So I'm going to use 100 times 30. Yeah, which is 300. Okay, which is 300. So remember, we've created that of each, the base unit as each, which is 1, right? Which is 1. Now we are now creating the additional measure unit of measure that we buy and sell in, because we buy in pellets and we sell in crates, or even go as far as selling in each, maybe one, you understand? Okay, or even dozen. So let me say I want to create let me create for dozen. Dozen. Okay, that spelling doesn't look, let me just leave one Z. Dozen. Yeah, so DZ, let me use DZ here. Okay, so in a dozen we have 12. Oh, see it, we won't have it up here. Okay, in a dozen we have 12, right? Then if there is pair, I can still select pair. Maybe they want to buy in 2. But all this we can actually factor in how to select them while creating an invoice or a bill. Okay, so I'll go to next. From here I purchase in pellets, remember? So in the highest, we buy them in the highest number, the highest unit, right? Then we sell them in crates. So let me just use crates. So crates, we have 30 egg. If there's any need for us to adjust, we can go ahead and adjust. Or if you sell each, it's fine. You sell each and you actually ship in each. Let me just use let's use we can still, there's a way we can work around it to get back to each. Okay, so let's go for crate, and we also ship in crate while selling to the customers, right? Okay, let's shipping crate. Okay, so next, so I'll just use can just use count, right? So let's use count and finish. Okay, we've created for that, so let me use it. Let me create as egg, right? Okay, so we have it egg. Okay, now the cost of goods sold account is pre-selected, which is okay. Now the cost per each, remember now your cost and sales price will be per each. Okay, so now you have to bring down per each. You have to ascertain per each of this egg. Okay, so in this case now let me use let's say for each egg is 100 the cost that we buy, or let me say 90, right? So if it is 90 now, then the sale price per each is 100. Now remember, this is for each. Okay, now we have to select an income account, which is a sales account. So whenever we purchase egg, it's going to affect the cost of goods sold account, right? Because that is the cost of what we purchase, which is correct. Now whenever we sell, we want to make sure that we have an income account to track what we sell, right? Okay, so this is for the egg. So next, this is for each. So next I want to go to length. So we're going to create for length. So what are we selling in this length? Let's say clothes. Okay, so we want to sell clothes, and then I'm going to create a new for length here. Okay, so next now we have to select a base unit of measure for the cloth we sell and buy, right? Now inches is more or less, we have inches, we have feet, and we have yard. So a feet has 12 inches, yard has 36 inches. So I think using inch will be a better option, because it's almost the smallest units of measure, right? Okay, now we want to now add the related one. Okay, so in fact they're already selected. You see we have 12 and we have 36. If you want to go ahead, if you have any other measure that you make use of, you can go ahead and select to add to this, or you create a new one to add to this list, so that whenever you want to purchase or sell, you can select these options. Okay, next, now we purchase in yard, which is the highest, and we sell in foot. Yeah, and then we also ship in foot. Now if you look at the first option for count, I did not select each. Whether you select each or not, you can still, there's a way you can still work around it. But each, which I selected, which is the base. In this case, our base here is inches, is for our counting. If we want to count, or if we want to value, if we want to do valuation of those items, those products, it is on that base that we do that, and that is what QuickBooks also will do for us. Okay, next, so let's just say length. Okay, the finish. Okay, next, the next item here is the let's go for weights. Okay, now for weights we have let's say fruits. We'll say fruit by the weight. Yeah, okay, now depend on the kind of fruit. Okay, so I'll go to add new. In this case I'll select weight, right? Okay, now in the weight we have different options. We have different options for the weight. Okay, so which of the base units do we want to select? A kilogram is 1, right? A gram is 1000. So let me say an ounce. Ounce is 1 kilogram is 35.274 ounce. So I want to make use of kilogram as the base, right? Then I'm going to select others. Okay, so we have 1 metric ton, that should be gram. Gram is 1000. Gram is 1000. So let me just put that as gram. gram is 1000 as G. Okay, okay, let me create another one. So we have ounce. If you measure in ounce or pound, okay, ounce, okay, let me just use OC. And how many kilogram in ounce? That is 35. If you calculate, okay, 35, let me delete that. So if you check a calculator or you Google, is 35.274. yeah, 35.274 kilogram in an ounce. Okay, the next one, let's select pounds. So I just want to, I might not make use of all of them, so I just want us to see the options. Pounds, okay, that are available, PD. Okay, then in this case we have to, if you browse also, you check the converter, that is 2.205. okay, that is the tree I want to select. The next, so now we purchase definitely on the highest, so, and I think the highest there is gram. Then we will sell in ounce or pound. Okay, at least ounce is somehow next to gram, right? Because it's 30 something, 35. Okay, now I'll select same ounce. Okay, now next, weight by the kilogram, that's by the smallest unit. Okay, so finish. So the next, the last one here that I want us to create is for vegetable oil. Let's say vegetable oil, vegetable oil. Okay, and we want to add a new, but is in volume, so we have to make use of volume. Okay, so this is oil. Now we have, if you look at, I can make use of a liter. A liter is below gallon. Yeah, a liter is below gallon. Just that some people sell, I can create order. So like in a liter you might have 2 cups. Like here in Nigeria you can sell, in fact there is what they call tin tomato, and there's what the tin tomato cup, and there's what they call pick me cup. So the pick me cup is half of a liter. The tin tomato cup is, I think, half of the pick me cup. So in this case, if I have if you sell these things in, let me just sell in liter. Can also just sell in liter, not to get us confused. So we'll sell in liter, 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter. You understand? Okay. Then we also, the basic unit of measure should still be that liter. Okay. Then we'll buy in gallon, because gallon is high, is high. So I'll select liter. So now we can see different options for the liters. Okay, now in addition, if I say I select gallon, that is a gallon. Okay, a bucket is 18.92 whatever liter. Okay, let me just go to the we have deciliter and hectoliter, that's 100 and 1000. Okay, so a liter, 10 this is like a 10, this is like 10 liter, this is like 100 liter, and this is like 1000 liter. Okay, so if can also name it to suit how you name your measurement. Okay, if this is a gallon, and the gallon from your own hand is 100 or is 1000 liter, you can name this as a gallon, right? Okay, or let me just use 2. Let me use this as a gallon. Okay, gallon. So in a gallon we have 100 liter, and this is 10 liter. You can still name it as 10 liter. Yeah, 10 liter, or rubber paint, depending on how you want to identify these things, right? Okay, next. Now we buy them in gallon. Gallon is above, so we sell in 10 liters. So we also ship in 10 liters. You can also sell in liters, but I will show you how to. So volume by liter. Okay, now next. Okay, so now we are done with the previous one. I did not add the prices. Yeah, okay. So let's say for a liter, an oil for a liter is let's say 1.5, the cost 1.5, then we sell at 2,000. Okay, that is okay. Let me go back to the item list. I did not include the price for clothes. Okay, I'll right click and edit. So for a yard, I mean an inches, which is the smallest unit of basic unit of measure. So let me say 500 for instance for the cost. Then at sales, let me sell for 600. Okay, and that is already selected. Now from here you can see the prices for each of them. So I have the 4 of them ready on the go. So now I am going to create a vendor. This is a new company file. Okay, I have a vendor which is here Salifu. Okay, good. So now let me now create a bill. Okay, so I'm going to enter a bill. I can go to vendor and enter bill. Okay, now or you select receive inventory. So if you click on this item here, so now I'm going to select Salifu. Then I want to get these 4 items. They are supposed to be 4, right? Clothes. Okay, let me go back to my item list and see what's missing. Item list. We did for clothes, egg, oil, out of count. This is count. Yeah, correct. This is count, and this is liter. Okay, I think it's weight. We don't have for weight, right? And weight is supposed to be fruit. Okay, let me add that. Let me quickly add that. New inventory fruit. Okay, and select weight for that. Okay, and let's say 1000 per kg, then 1.5 for the sales. Then we'll select sales here, then okay. So let's go back to entering the bill. We want to get these items, so I'll select clothes, egg. Remember, we don't have any of these items. We just created them first, then we're going to purchase these items. Now you can see the purchase, they use the highest, just like I recommend suggested. Yard was the highest. Okay, pallets was the highest, gallon, and you can see now they've done the computation already. This is the computation has been done already. Now if you click on, hold on, sorry. Now you can see 1 yard is 18,000. 1 yard is 18,000. Now if you go to item list, the price for each of a yard excuse me, is okay, for the cloth is inches, that is 600, right? So, and I said this is in inches and we are buying in yard. Okay, this is in inches and we are buying in yard. So, and I told you 36 inches is in a yard, right? So if we go to the calculator here. So 36 times 600, we're supposed to have okay, let me see, I have 21,600. Let me go back to the bill. 18,000 yard. Let me convert 1 yard to 36 inch. Okay, let me see, convert 1 yard to 36 inch. Oh, sorry, the cost. The cost, sorry, I was using the sales price. This is the selling price, so the cost is 600. If you double click on that, you see the cost. The cost here is 500. Okay, so if you go to 500, let's clean this out. So we have 500, then times 36, so we have 18,000. You see, QuickBooks has done the calculation for us here by multiplying the inches by the number of inches in a yard, because we say per inches is 500, which is the cost. Remember, we are trying to purchase, so we are going to use the cost price. Okay, now similarly for egg, from the item list here, egg is 1,000 here, so 100, that is 90. I remember is 90 naira. Okay, if you go to the calculator here, so and 90, let's clear this out. So 90 times, okay, so here a pellet, remember, is 300, right? So we have 27,000. Okay, similarly for the other options. Okay, so I'm going to say if I buy this 111 is okay, because I set them in a lesser measurement, you understand? So I can buy them one, like as it is like this, or I decide to say, okay, I want to buy this 5 yard, right? Now you see we have option to even select in inches or in feet. So but if you are buying it in yard and you actually have it on the bill in yard, in order not to confuse yourself, though if you do this in QuickBooks will adjust it for you, right? This is like buying 5 inches, then you now convert, no, sorry, I said inches, let me say 5 inches or foot, but you can convert them. So better still, let's make use of the yard, which we already agreed on that we purchase these items. So this is, let me say 10. So I bought 10 pellets. Okay, 10 pellets. Then is that a gallon? Oh, this is where the mistake can come from. Okay, let me see the options that comes in. Ounce, pound. Okay, this is measurement. This is for measurement, right? This is for measurement. Let me see the vegetable oil. Let's use 4. Okay, so for the vegetable oil we have a liter. We have for a liter, which is what we want to buy in a liter. Okay, so 4 liters of vegetable oil, this is the price per each, and we have 600,000. Then for the fruits, let's say 2. Let's use 2. I'm trying to figure out the, let me go to item list and then see if, let me double click on that. See if I selected the right. Okay, this is weight. This is on weight. Okay, gram. Okay, gram, ounce and pound. Okay, this is on on weight, okay, which is correct. So I'm gonna just leave it that way. Then I'll save and close. Now once we go to report, let's go to inventory, then inventory stock status by item. You see now we have on hand as 180. Remember, it was just 5 10 41 or something. Now you see that is showing as 183,000. That is, it's showing us in the base, the smallest unit. You can see this is in inches, this is each, this is kilogram, as against we have gram, and this is a liter, we have gallon. So but in this case you can see that it's selecting the base, the base unit of measure to value those. Okay, then if I go to report now, go to inventory, inventory valuation, summary. Now you see from this end our quantity is still as it is. Then the average cost, you can see now the cost is each on the base unit. Okay, that is how QuickBooks we record this value these items for you. Okay, now let's sell this item. So I'm going to go ahead to create an invoice. So while creating that invoice, and okay, let's select George Christ mode. So I want to sell each of those items. Okay, so egg, fruit, and vegetable oil. Okay, now you get a little confused here. Okay, this is crate, this is feet. You know, we assign that while selling, we want to sell in feet for the cloth, we want to sell in crate for the egg, we want to also sell in ounce for the fruit for measurement, and for volume we want to sell, I think, let me see, that's of vegetable. Item list for the volume. Got a little bit confused there, so let me edit this to see. Okay, I did not change that gallon. Okay, I think that is why we are having that 10 liter. Okay, I think this will assist me. Okay, so I have to cancel, clear, and select again. I have to effect the changes. Okay, then eggs, fruits, then vegetable oil. Okay, now you can see feet, crates, ounce, and 10 liter. Okay, that's how we agree to sell. Now remember, if you click on these, you can convert them. So let's say you actually sell, this customer decided, okay, you want to sell this, you want to buy this egg not in a crate. Okay, not in a crate. So if it's not selling in a crate, you have to select from the list, from this list here. So is it that you are selling in a dozen? So let's say I want to sell in a dozen, so 1 dozen. So you see it has changed from 3,000 to 1,200 because a dozen is 12, right? Then a crate is 30. Okay, each is 1. If I select each now, you see that it just shows us 100, which is for just each. So you can see everything will be taken care of. Everything will be taken care of as far as you have the correct information inputted. So let's say it's in a dozen. Okay, so that is for 10. So 1 dozen. So we have it as 1,200. Now the fruit, we decided that it's in a ounce. So we can say, okay, we want to sell it in pounds. So it will adjust. Remember, the pounds is below ounce. Okay, to adjust the value for you. Now when it comes to these, you say okay, it's no longer 10 liter, they want to actually buy a liter. Remember, this is 20,000 for 10 liters. So if you do your math, to give you 2,000 for a liter. So at the end of the day, you have your values correct. So once you hit save and close, we go to okay, the customer, okay, George Christ mode, then you save and close. Now let's go to inventory stock status. So now you see, now we have on hand, it has changed to 168 2988. This is measurement.